All right, last lesson is 30.1. I know it goes slightly out of order, but it goes with these lessons, so that's why I put it here. The title is solving. We haven't had an equal sign yesterday or the day before, and today there's going to be an equal sign. We'll solve. We'll actually figure out what x is, not just x plus 4 or x minus 7. So we have some practice with some easier fractions so that when we get to more complex or difficult fractions, we've got a method. So take a couple minutes. There's a hint or directions. Get a common denominator, then solve. Leave your answer as a simplified fraction. No calculator. Since we're solving, likely you get an answer. You could probably plug it back in if you have time and know that you got it right. All right, if you're not done, that's okay. Hopefully you have one of them done. I have to get a common denominator. It doesn't have to be the least common. That would be nice if it was. What do you guys think about 3, 8, and 4? What number can they all go into? 24. So if my denominator is 24, I'll have to multiply by 6 over 6. Now remember, I'm not making it 6 times bigger or smaller. I'm multiplying it by 1. 3/4 is still the same as 18/24. This one's going to get multiplied by 3. And this one's going to get multiplied by 8. 8 times 2, 16x. Now, I have two fractions with the same denominator being added, so I'm going to put those together. So 16x plus 3. What did you guys do from here? Jaden, what'd you do? That'll work. Did you do anything with the 24s? Okay, so you're kind of on the right track, but if I subtract 3, that doesn't really cancel with that 3 because that's 3/24. See what I mean? So I can't just subtract 3 if I have 3/24. But if these two fractions are equal to each other and they have the same bottom part, wouldn't the tops have to be the same? See the logic there? If the fractions are the same and the bottom is the same, then the numerator equals that numerator. So now I do just have a plus 3. I can subtract 3. 15/16. Again, if there's time, I could plug that in and check it. I don't have to put any restrictions on x. X can't be 1. Well, I know x isn't 1 because it's 15/16. I don't have to list anything it can't be. Let's look at the next one. Did we do 20 for denominator? Okay. So sometimes it's nice to write it, but you don't have to. That's going to get multiplied by 2/2. That it can stay 4/4. They all have a denominator of 20. But I have two fractions over here, so I'm going to combine them since they have a common denominator. Same thing I said on the first one. If this fraction has to equal this fraction, and their denominators are the same, the only way for them to be equal to one another is if their numerators are also the same. So I need to figure out 4 plus 3x has to be equal to 2x. If I subtract 3 x's, divide by a negative, I get -4. Questions? This is how ours are going to work today. You are going to get common denominators. If you have two fractions on one side, make that into one fraction. And once you have a fraction on each side and their denominators match, all you have to do is get the numerators to be equal or match. Is it possible to have more than one answer? What if it said this? Aren't there two answers for x if x squared equals 36? Right, by square root, x equals 6 times 6 is 36. -6 times -6 is 36. Many times there will be one answer, but you could get more than one. All right, let's get started. Number 1, solve, show your work, and check your answer for any extraneous solutions. So it sounds like we have to check our answer. They don't have a common denominator, so I need to multiply by that denominator. Got nothing changing on the left. On the right, I'm going to have to do a little bit of distributing. I already have fractions on both sides. They have the same denominator. So I just need to set my numerators, make sure that they are equal. I think you guys can do some of this work on your own. Braden, what's going to happen with the x squared? Yeah, it's going to go away on both sides, right? Yeah, it looks like it might be a harder problem or a factoring problem or maybe a problem with two answers. But if I subtract x squared on both sides, it goes away. I'm going to give you a trick that might help you check your answer, save you a little time. Maybe it's one you already know. Questions on getting the answer first. Did I go too fast? No. All right, here's my trick on checking your answer. So type in your answer, -3 divided by 2, enter. I have 2 tricks. Yeah, we'll do this one. You guys see the store button above the on, STO? You see that? Hit store. I'm storing that answer. And I can store it as any letter I pick. Let's do X, just up by the alpha key, the normal X that you do. Hit enter. Now, your X is that number. So you can type X now. Don't use this for any other problem because X is what we just stored it as. So now I can go up above. I'm going to kind of clear this. I'm going to type exactly what it says. Actually, I might do parentheses since I have a fraction. So let's type parentheses. You can type that X up by alpha, the same one you pressed earlier. X squared minus 4, parentheses, divided by, keep typing. I get 0.875. Oh, hold on. Let me type something again. Hello? Yep, thanks. Bye. KD office. Let's see what I typed wrong. X squared minus. Oh, I didn't hit divide. Sorry. I hit times. X plus 1. Yep. I typed it in, I get 3.5. Now we can all type in over there, X plus 5. 3.5. Anybody ever done that before? It's kind of nice. Alrighty. I think you guys are good to try some on your own. So let's go through 2. When you're done, check it. I think we'll skip C and we'll go to D after that. So do B, check it, then do D. if you want to know how to store something again, hit -1. Oh, sorry, that was my answer. Hit your answer, hit enter. Once you've hit enter, then hit store X, enter. Once you get B, check it, skip C, and do D. Right here. +4 and plus. I had a +6. Oh, I just brought it down. Anybody need B any longer? Kate, if you want to start on D. I don't know how to do it. Were you here when I taught people a trick on how to check stuff? Yeah. Okay. keep working. I have D done up here. We're going to do E. That will be our last one. You'll notice some word problems on the next page. We will do word problems for the next lesson. So we're not doing those today. We're not skipping them totally. So finish up D, do E, and then we'll be ready for homework. Did I make a mistake?
Yeah.
Once hit
When
this.
I did the subtraction, I left it as 2 instead of negative.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I didn't do the Yeah. So you would do the one doesn't change anything. Yes, it's true.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
So actually.
I figured because I did the same thing, so I actually did positive 2.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to.
I think your mistake is right here. When you distributed this, 2x is 2x squared, and that's gonna be minus 2x.
Oh.
You just put the 1, you forgot to multiply that. You don't need to finish the whole problem as long as you find your mistake.
Okay.
Going on. Anybody else need help with D before I get rid of it and do E?
I don't, like, I'm, it's right there, but I just. I don't know
So-
what I did.
Because there's no B term,
Mhm.
you could just move that 8 over,
Okay.
divide by 2. If there's a B term, you probably have to factor quadratic formula. If you didn't hear what I was just talking about here, we have kind of right here, I have a squared term, but no x. If there's a squared term and an x, we'll probably have to factor. But without that, you can just solve by square root. So I divided by 2 on both sides. Then I square rooted, and I know the square root of 4 is 2 and negative 2. I just haven't checked either one yet. I'll have to store it as 2, check it, store negative 2, and then check that. Yep, that is a scenario. Can you guys tell that negative 2 is going to be a problem just from the get-go?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to plug it in. We know negative 2 is not going to work. That's going to get you 0. So we just cross that out. Make sure I can read it, that you got it, and then cross it out. We should check 2, though. I haven't done that yet. Check 2. Worked for me. 2 works. Oops. All right, we'll get to word problems another day. I believe this is the homework. Let me check. 466, 17 to 20. 17 to 20.
It is that weird.
When you check it? Okay. Let me look at what you're typing in. Let me make sure these don't have word problems real fast. Yep, 17, 18, 19, 20. You might be able to finish that in the next 10 minutes.